I'm going to show you how to automate and standardize the naming of your opportunities. This is something that's going to really increase your data quality. It's going to drive consistency across your opportunity names, and it'll be scalable. So as your data grows, the names of the opportunities will be easily identifiable. And that's going to make it a lot easier for you to spot any inconsistencies when you're looking at large amounts of records. So let me show you how I did it. Okay, so create an opportunity here. In this instance, the opportunity name is going to be irrelevant because I've already created a formula and the flow is going to dictate that for me. So I'm just going to put in anything here. I'll pull in an account. Okay, and what the flow is going to do is it's going to pull in the account name in the title, the lead source, and then the close date. Great. So there it is. It has the account name, it has the lead source that we selected, and it has the close date. So obviously, you can see this is in a dev org, and I'm just using lead source, but this could be grants, it could be donations, whatever the use case is. So then the question becomes, this account was already in the org. What happens if it's a brand new account? So now let's create an opportunity where the account does not already exist in the org. And I can put in anything here. New account. Okay, great. So here's an example of creating an opportunity where the account didn't exist in the org, but we're still able to pull in the account name here and then the lead source and all the other stuff that we wanted for that naming convention. One thing that I thought about here was making sure that the flow only fired when the opportunity was created. And so if it's edited, there is an opportunity to change that name. And that was intentional because for whatever reason, if we did want to have flexibility with changing that name, that we would be able to do that. And so here, if we didn't want to have that close date in there, you can do that and the flow will not fire. And so you can see that account name's been updated. Okay, so now I'll show you how I created it. Okay, so just go create a new flow. And we're going to create a record trigger flow. Okay, so we're going to select opportunity as the object. And we want this flow to fire when a record is created. This is going to be a fast field update. So it's going to be a before save flow. And let's go ahead and save this. So I'll say update. Okay, and then I hit save. Okay, next thing we want to do is go ahead and get the account name. That, and we'll say get records. Get account. And you want to get the ID that's going to equal the account ID of the opportunity. So we're going to select record. You can see that opportunity is selected because that's what this flow is starting from. And we're going to say account. So the next thing we need to do is create a formula that will put our opportunity names in the correct syntax that we want. So you create a resource and a formula. And I always start my formulas with FRM. It just helps me identify it a little bit easier. And this is going to be a text formula. So here's where we can actually start pulling in fields from the account or the opportunity into the syntax of our name. So I'll pull in the account name. I'll pull in the lead source. And then we'll also pull in the close date. Okay. Okay. So in order to make it more visually appealing, I want to put in some syntax in between the actual fields. So I'm going to place this string right in the middle, and it's surrounded by ampersands. You can see I did that on both sides. If we were to check syntax right now, it would fail. What we need to do, since the close date is a date field and lead source is a pick list, we need to convert those to a text. And the way that you do that is you wrap it in a text format like this. And we do the same thing with the lead source. Okay, so now we've brought in all of the fields that we want to have on the opportunity name, and we've included the syntax in between to make the spacing just look more visually appealing. So let's last thing to do is just check the syntax, and we're good to go. Okay, the final thing that we need to do is update the records, and we're going to update the triggering record. All right. And it's going to use the opportunity record that triggered the flow. And the reason why we're doing this, we're wanting to actually update the name. So we're going to type in name, and we're going to have it equal the formula that we just created. And you can see why it's kind of nice to start this with a little formula syntax there. It's just a little easier. I know it's under the drop down here, but something that I've kind of gotten used to. There we go. And then we go ahead and click save. And so if we debug, we can pull in an account. Okay, so let's take a look. In the get records, it successfully found the account ID. And then when we take a look at the opportunity, the name, it pulled in the formula that we just created. And here is the output of that formula. And that's it. Go ahead, hit activate, and you're good to go. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up.